Tillerson, Russia failure allowed Syria chemical attack.
Egypt declares state of emergency after deadly church attacks.
Great Barrier Reef, 2/3 damage in unprecedented bleaching.
EDL Birmingham protest potter woman surprised by viral reaction. And it may get warmer today's weather. This is more Tommy News. Welcome to Tommy News.
Now the news.
U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has criticized Russia, saying it had failed to prevent Syria from carrying out a chemical attack on the rebel-held town.
Russia had agreed to ensure Syria's chemical weapons stockpiles were destroyed, and it failed to do so enabled the attack, he said.
G7 foreign ministers are preparing to meet in Italy later Monday.
Talks will focus on how to increase pressure on Russia to distance itself from Syria's President Bashar al-Assad.
On Tuesday, Mr. Tillerson will continue for the G7 to Moscow, where he will meet his Russian counterpart Sergei.
Russia is the Syrian government's main ally and helped facilitate the 2013 agreement to destroy Syria's chemical arsenal.
The suspected chemical attack on Khan Sheikhon last Wednesday left 89 people dead.
In response, the US fired 59 missiles at the Syrian airbase on Friday.
Syria denied using any chemical agents, and Russia says the US gave no evidence Syria has chemical weapons.
Egypt's President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi has announced a 3-month state of emergency after attacks on 2 Coptic churches that left at least 44 dead.
The measure allows authorities to make arrests without warrants and search people's homes. It needs to be approved by parliament before it is implemented.
So-called Islamic State said it was behind the blasts in Tanta and Alexandria on Palm Sunday.
The group has targeted cops in Egypt recently and warns of more attacks.
Mr. Sisi made a defiant speech at the presidential palace after a meeting of the National Defense Council to discuss the explosions.
He warned that the war against the jihadists will be long and painful, and said that the state of emergency will come into force and after all legal and constitutional steps were taken. The majority in parliament backs Mr. Sisi.
The president had earlier ordered the deployment of the military across the country to protect vital and important infrastructure.
Coming up after this break, Great Barrier Reef, 2/3 damage in unprecedented bleaching.
And the EDL Birmingham protest fought a woman surprised by viral reaction.
One, two. Oh, good, come on. That's it. Oh.
Welcome back to Tommy News.
Unprecedented coral bleaching in consecutive years has damaged 2/3 of Australia's Great Barrier Reef, aerial surveys have shown.
The bleaching, or loss of algae, affects a 1,500 kilometer, 900 mile stretch of the reef, according to scientists.
The latest damage is concentrated in the middle section, whereas last year's bleaching hit mainly the north.
Experts fear the proximity of the 2 events will give damaged coral little chance to recover.
Professor Terry Hughes from James Cook University said governments must urgently address climate change to prevent further bleaching.
Since 1998, we have seen 4 of these events, and the gap between them has varied substantially, but this is the shortest gap we have seen, Professor Hughes told the BBC.
The sooner we take action on global greenhouse gas emissions and transition away from fossil fuels to renewables, the better.
Researcher Dr. James Carey said the damage was unprecedented.
The central third this year, I would say, was as severe as in terms of bleaching as what we saw as the northern third last year, he told the BBC.
For for those reefs that were hit 2 years in a row, it is effectively a double whammy. They have no chance to recover from last year's events.
A viral photo of a woman smiling at an English Defence League protester in Birmingham was snapped after she stepped in to defend a fellow Bromie.
The image of Safia Khan has been shared thousands of times since it was taken at Saturday's demonstration.
Miss Khan from Birmingham said she had been intervened when she saw another woman surrounded by about 25 men.
The EDL said she interrupted a minute silence for terror attack victims.
Miss Khan, who said she was not part of an organized counter-protest, told the BBC she had been quite surprised when the photo was retweeted around the world.
I don't like seeing people getting ganged up on in my towns, she said.
And now the weather forecast with Ginger.
Hello, and this is the weather forecast for today. Warm temperatures will prevail all over Syria. 40 cloudy for Talking City today with 205 degrees Celsius as average temperature, while in the northern region, cloudy conditions and 29 degrees average temperature means good weather. Moving to West Outfit7, clouds will blanket the region with an average temperature of 26 degrees. The eastern region will be partly cloudy and with a warm 30 degrees Celsius, and the south gets overcast weather 37 degrees. That's all. And this is Tom Biddies. Visit Outfit7tv.com/news for more news and content. This is Tom.
And Ben, thanks for watching. Goodbye.